good angle too.
Yeah, I look at it for now. Look at it for now. Both brothers get it.
Yeah, yours is good.
All right.
Yours is good too.
It's good.
You gonna be back there?
Yeah, yeah. Two brothers get it.
Yeah, first we'd like to say, Kyle
Halal,
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Akakadash.
Water Yahweh for giving us Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. We'll have the 100% spirit. I don't want to take that picture, but hey, we just shalom, you know, I just messed up angel. Yeah, we out here, you know, in the spirit of Yahweh by Shemai Shai, you know, prophesying, you know, so, you know, that's what we're going to do. Whatever you got, you know, I got something.
We in the spirit of anarchy.
Yeah, man.
You know, we're looking forward, you know, because they already ran out of funds for October. So we're going to see what's going to happen in November. Because, you know, everything that happened, like Apostle said times, everything that happened in politics is planned. Because they want anarchy. And you see a lot of complicated, we call these videos. And Jake is already saying the plans they're planning to do if they don't have for November, and if they can't take care of their kids. They said they're going to lose, they're going to hit the streets, and that's what Esau wants. Because that's going to give Esau the justification to what to do now. Because Esau have what they call order archaea, you know, meaning you create the chaos and they justify the action after, you know, reconstructing the chaos. So, you know, that we in the spirit of anarchy, we in the spirit of prophecy, we in the spirit of, you know, of the end. You know, I believe we'll see what happens. Now, solution to this government programs or subsidies and to fix this illegal migration problem will be the MOTB, you know. We're gonna keep watching and see what happens. That's all.
That's the spirit. Exactly what the end days entail. Chaos, man. Like the brother just said, you know, there's levels to it. Of course, you believe in the Most High, Yahweh by Shemai Shai is controlling all of this. That's why he said he's the one who's gathering the nations over there in the Middle East, right in the Amar mountain of troops to fight that final war. The Lord's constructing all this. Scriptures say does not he create, I always mess up, does not he create
the waster,
evil for the day of wickedness?
Oh.
It's a butcher. And yeah, and on another level, matter of fact, you get before you get that, get Esau's equivalent stick. And then we'll go to Psalms, Proverbs. Yeah, but we're gonna go there different.
I got something. So, I'm sorry, no, you got it.
Yeah, because you mentioned basically what's going on now is the you know, the chaos that Esau is pretty much ensuing, man. Politicians, they're the main ones, you know, the medium between the serfs people and the rich. You know, they're nothing but pacifiers. And they're the ones ushering in these draconian laws, causing false flag stage events that are ushering in these laws. Hailing dialectic, as they call it. Problem, reaction, solution. All these stuff that they're problems that are supposedly happening. If you do your research, it's basically the government behind it. For example, one quick example of the drugs. You got to be an idiot to think that Noriega or any big-time drug dealer, but they're the ones really behind it. It's the one that's bringing these guns in the ghettos and the hoods, right? So they're the ones that create this anarchy. So they're doing it now.
Yeah, I got now Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of men shall wax cold.
Yeah, that's on point. That's prophecy. One more time.
It says, and because iniquity shall abound.
Yeah, Is that at the Lord's mouth?
Yep.
Yeah, that y'all shot.
Okay, so that's the Lord, man. Talking about it once again. That's Matthew, what's that,
24.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's to be the time, you know, when the disciples asked, what should be the time?
Yep.
Yep.
The end of the world. That's a prophetic script, you know. And,
No, I just want to pull out the Greek word for.
okay, come.
Now that word iniquity, they take it to the Greek word anamos, and namos meaning law. The Greek alphabet, the first letter alphabet before. Namos means without law. So that alone is going into anarchy. Now, G458, the condition of without law. That's what iniquity means, condition without law. And it says the love of many shall wax cold. Because there will be anarchy. There will. That's falls under that 2 Ezra 16 chapter. They will not regard against. So when resource, because when resources get low, they're gonna hit the streets to get the resources. And now famine. What famine is, it's not the completion of resources. It's the scarcity of resources. Because resources are going to be there, they're going to be so scarce. Because Isaiah 65 says that the elect is going to eat, the elect is going to rejoice, but the non-believers is going to suffer. They're going to be hungry. So it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure until the same shall be saved.
Yeah, and that's self-explanatory, you know. The ones that are going to endure, the ones that have the belief and faith in Yahweh Shema Shai. That's never going to. That's just a fact of the matter of who's going to be saved in the latter days. Right? You got to believe. For you to endure, you gotta comprehend and understand the prophecies of the Lord. You know, because all the stuff that are happening today has been talked about by the prophets, saying, telling you things before they happen, warning the people. Right? And like you brought up with iniquity, you know, chaos happens when there's basically no laws. And you can say, well, you know, there were laws before the 90s and the 80s, and well, technically, those aren't laws, man. Those aren't laws. The only laws that intact people at the end of the day is the laws that the Most High gave to his people. And overall, you can argue, well, Israel had their kingdom, and they had laws with leaders there, but you had wicked leaders, all right? You had wicked kings of Israel that didn't establish the true laws of the Lord. So that's why that's good you brought that up, and that's a common denominator. When true laws are intact, when I get buy something, a furniture to build a bookshelf, and I follow the instructions, it should come out to be a bookshelf. Because the instructions are there, all right? So again, for a so-called righteous and glorious society, right, what's going to establish that society? It's laws, it's statutes. So this can't be the truth, because look at the way this the government is. Look at the world, all right? So the laws by default, it's not working, man. It's not the truth, because you wouldn't have this, man. All right. If I get a bookshelf and I get that follow the instructions, I'm supposed to get a bookshelf, not a goddamn whatever else.
You know, the people they're gonna rebel against the law. That's what make them lawless. Like because there's laws on shoplifting. Yeah. There's laws on looting. You know, there's laws on sedition. But you know, what's this guy named Harold Salente? His quote is, when people have nothing to lose, they lose it. They lose their mind. So they don't care if they're going to get locked up. In their mind, they're thinking like, well, you got 100 people breaking into this store. What's the chance of them, catching me? And everybody have that state of mind. Like, it happened during the pandemic. People looting into stores, leaving out with PS5s and all, just doing shit. They became lawless. That's a iniquity abounding, lawlessness abounding, chaos, anarchy. Now, you know the movie Brief and Vendetta, there's a scene now when the dude with the mask, the Phantom, he's on the roof talking to the woman. He say, remember the 5th of November. And that's when anarchy started happening. And you know, we understand that the elite producers, they are lesser luminaries. And just so happened, look, something may happen November 5th. We'll find out.
Another point, I did a show and the Apostle Talk brought it out. When there's always rebellions, there's one common denominator. It's always the rich against the poor.
Yeah.
It's always poor people that you could look it up, and he did it on ChatGPT. I was like, oh wow. So basically, if you look at all rebellions or revolts or uprisings, it's always the poor against the rich. You know, that's a common denominator. So that's another reason why people are losing their minds, because they're being oppressed, they're being beat down. All right, you corner somebody in the corner, as at one point or another, they're gonna fight back, man. Right, all right, and that's what time we're in. So the rich, the Most High is unwinding all this, and the poor, the people who are poor, which is the majority of the world, because the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they're the 1% of the 1%. So the rest of the world, I remember this stat. This is years ago, probably different now. Half the world population lives on less than $1 a day. That's an old stat. I don't know what it is now, but the majority of people are rising. All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
I got that. So, that's it?
Yeah. You can get it, and then we'll, because he had just
okay. This second address is kind of long.
Okay, get that right.
This is Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him. Who so-called white people? He's so evil, beginning with the elites. Right, cast him down. That's what we're waiting for, man. All right, that's why the Lord is going to unleash holy hell upon this kingdom, man. All right, because why? The elect of us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans get ready to be delivered up out of here. Okay?
Matter of fact, before you read that again, but I created the evil for the day. Look at this.
Oh, I got you right here.
That'll line up right with it.
This is Proverbs 6.
That's really a precept to that one.
Proverbs 16 and 4. The Lord hath made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. Why? Glorify Yahweh, his name, through his son. All right? Even the wicked for the day of evil. Right? That's what the comeback of the Lord entails, man. Saving us from bad times, from evil times, and which really is the Lord's wrath. The destruction upon Babylon, great and parts of the world. You know, this whole world is going to be rocked, man. So we need to be saved up out of it. All right? Just like what the Lord did with Egypt. Excuse me, with Mizraim, so to speak. The real name of when Moses, through the hand of Moses, through the power of the Lord, you know, saved us, made an exodus out of Egypt by great miracles and power. Right? But why was that evil done and the oppression done and the Pharaoh having a tight grip on Israel? Why was that done? Why was that evil done? For a purpose. Right? So the Lord could show his power. That's what scriptures say, that the Lord, he raised up Pharaoh just to show his power. So no different from these days. These days are for a purpose to eventually show the Most High's power through his son, himself, and his son, and his men. All right? This is why this is being done. All right? If this was a hunky-dory world, and you got flowers everywhere all throughout the year, everybody's laughing, everybody's in a good mood, why would you need the Lord to come back? It would be the kingdom done already. Right? But it's not.
Christians saying they saved. How could you get saved?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Danger coming, you know? Like you said, fairy tale land is not bad.
Yeah, that's right. It ain't no fairy tale. You say, so again, man, this is what we need to be saved from great harm and danger.
Yeah.
All right.
Back in Psalms 17 and 13.
And I'm sorry, like the priest started off the show, but going into anarchy, we need to be saved from that. Right? We're going to need the Lord in these times. Okay? It's the Lord that creates, again, these things for him to show his power. Okay?
Back in Psalm 17 and 13.
His righteousness.
It says, Arise, Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Yeah, and the sword of the Lord on the left-hand side are these Edomites. And the reason why, we're in this predicament is because we sin against Yahweh Shai. That's why the scriptures say, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. All right, and all these, calamities that's about to come down the pipeline, we need to be safe from that, man. Because the Lord's going to use this damn devil to wreak havoc, all right, upon the people, especially our people, the 2/3 of Jacob.
I was just looking up, and the elder brother was the love of many shall wax cold. And then when you go into the word cold, it goes into psycho.
Yeah.
So that's how it is, because I'm looking, I'm like, wait, well, let me just make sure. Yeah, so these people, that cold. Yeah, your mind, exactly.
So, in other words, people gonna start losing their mind.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the conditions, the famine, which is the lack of bread, everything that consists of this life,
It's going to lead them to be in that lowest spirit.
Exactly. There you go.
They're gonna get desperate.
Yeah, get desperate. Desperate time, desperate measures.
That's the spirit when you kick that off, Maria. Like it was the one woman. She said, like going to the supermarket.
Yeah.
She said, if you go to the supermarket and you work there and you have the nerve to basically snitch on me, you deserve to be killed. See, you people saying this all on the internet and acting like these damn devils can't do me, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They basically keeping intact with all that, man.
Yeah.
So when you people go out and begin to lose your minds, let's see what happens November 1st. From then forward, hey man, they gonna have every reason to do what they do to you, man. Because you just jump into their trap, and we're telling you not to do that, man.
You might start seeing it might start with a protest, open back up the government, then it start getting violent, then it turns to looting. Yeah. Anything could come out of this.
Yeah,
but what we do know, nothing good's gonna come out of it.
Right. One more verse. It says, "From men, which is thy hand, O Lord," shows you that the Lord's in control. All right. It says, "From men of the world, which have their portion in whose belly thou hast fillest with thy treasure, they are full of children, and they leave the rest of their spirits to their babes." According to these Edomites, they have the best of the best. And that's their blessing. They got it through the sword at the end of the day. All right, but we're in a time where Abba Shimon Shah is going to take this devil down. But the Lord is going to use this devil to bring anarchy to this earth, man. All right? Because that's how we're living in, and we need to be safe from that, man.
That's right.
From the power of Yahweh Shimon Shah, it all comes back it all comes to the Lord at the end. The fear of the Lord is our treasure.
Right. Treasure is something that everybody possess.
Right.
So there's only going to be a few of us that have the fear of the Most High, that have the faith of Yahweh Shah.
That's
That was it, bro. Yeah.
This is Revelation 6 and verse 4. And there went out another red horse that was And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat there and take peace from the earth. Esau Edom. Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So he's causing the peace to cease from the earth. At the same time, they trying to peace treaties and all that. But the high ups is the one that caused it.
That's right.
Scriptures, not scriptures, is the same in the world. All wars are bankers' wars. All right? Who run the international banks? The Federal Reserve. Them small hats, first and foremost, that come from the tribe of Esau. That come from Esau, from the tribe of Amalek. It says.
That's a good scripture. That's a good point, because peace is chaos.
Yeah. It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given to him a great sword. That, and that's how he's ruling, with his military might, NATO, the EU, This is what, when you got the power to kill, you can't tell a person something. That was it.
I just saw some today as far as countries around the world, the most armed citizens, as far as a country in the world, is America.
Oh yeah.
It's like by far. I think the next one is some Scandinavian country, but I forget the ratio, like 120 to 1 or something like that. It's a lot. Basically, again, most people who are armed, right, with a weapon in any country is by ratio is America. It shows you how their mindset is. You know? It shows you their mindset. So, you know, with that fact, you know, you can easily see people killing each other in these last days.
That's right.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, I got some. Yep. Yes, sir. It's 2 Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world, and all they end. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against the other, and swords in their hands.
Yeah, so like it started off, woe means bad intentions, you know, and it's bad intentions of this world. You know, that's why Ezra, which is clear to the elect, that's another topic, but reincarnation, he said, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days, right? Proving that in the latter days and all the things that the prophets got were dreadful, man. You know, we're coming into times like you start off with Matthew 24, the Lord gave that prophecy before what's going to happen comes, you know? And what did he say? Is that this is going to be the most troubled time ever, you know? You know, this is going to be the most troublous time, man. You know? So yeah, it would definitely is woke. You know what I mean? You got to be worried.
You were just making a point about America has the most citizens in the world with guns. That's the swords in their hand. Because not only they're gonna be war fight in the Middle East, it could be a class war here. Because what can happen too is they might cut off SSI, they may cut off a lot of other benefits, but it's gonna get Esau involved in it too. Or some people might be getting it, but it might be Edomites. You know? Because now they changed the stipulation or the qualification of EBT too. You need, what is it, 40 hours in a week?
40.
It's 40, right? Okay, so, you know, they keep changing.
Yeah, you're right, because Apostle said it in the show this week. He said, watch, and I believe, we could check it, but I believe the majority of people on EB or SNAP, whatever, is Edomites, and to be specific, Amalek. You know, but we could double check that. But he said, he's like, watch Jake get cut off, but Edomites, they'll remain for somehow, because certain stipulations, like you're saying.
And you know they keep saying the phrase.
Because I'm sorry, they're the majority of the people on it.
Right.
But
now, you know they keep saying the term abuse. Now we think of subsidies, abuse, it's usually Jake. Because Amalek could be on it, right? But Amalek ain't showcasing their non-kits and what they buying in the supermarket and junk food. You see niggas doing that shit. So they painting it towards Jake. So we're gonna cut Jake off. You know, and Jake gonna start doing dumb shit. They're gonna start crashing out.
yeah, it's different. That's But you got it.
Verse 6.
Some statistics on.
Go ahead.
This is ChatGPT. It says, as of most recent data, white individuals constitute the largest participants. And I just questioned the largest population of race and people that don't EBT SNAP. And it says white individuals constitute the largest group of participants in the supplemental nutrition program, which is SNAP. Approximately 37% of SNAP participants identify as white, making them the largest racial group in the program.
But Esau's not the one making things they're gonna do.
Right.
They're saying if they don't get they snap, they're gonna snap.
Yeah.
That's white code, psycho.
Yep.
Exactly. Verse 16. But there should be sedition among men and invading one another.
Yeah, and that's happening, but it's going to just escalate to another degree, especially if you got a marker here, November 1st or whatever have you. we all just know according to prophecy, things are just going to get worse.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that we see in the news and current events is proving the scriptures. Is proving Yahweh Ba'Shemai Shah once again. Undefeated. Okay? And read that again, Slow.
Yeah, it says, for there should be sedition amongst men.
Yeah, that's happening. With
And-
Charlie Kirk getting blasted away and other government officials getting threatened, you know, that's been going on.
It says, for there should be sedition amongst men and invading one another.
And basically, to be specific, sedition is the citizens against the government. And that's what you see here. So protesting is a part of that. Invading elected officials' homes or their office, whatever have you. Basically just going against the government.
Let's Google it. Sedition. Conduct inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or not.
Yeah, so it could be through word, like speech or words, or physical actions, you know.
For there should be sedition amongst men and invading one another.
Yeah, look, look what's happened with the ICE thing. The no Kings protest, right? That's an example.
Yeah, that's the invading. Going into people's homes, looting, that falls under invading.
Yep.
They should not regard their kings, no princes, and the course of their actions should stand in their power. I got something real quick. I want to look at this wording. Anarchy.
You can read more. Up to you, though.
Yeah, this is definition, read. Now, so anarchy, a state of disorder due to absence or not recognition of authority or controlling systems. Now, we'll break it down in the Greek. You got the word archos, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, it means chief or ruler. Then you got the word and, mean without. So the words combined, without ruler. So anarchy means without ruler. So I'm reading this again. It says, for there should be sedition amongst men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings, anarchy, without ruler. And the course of their actions should stand in their power. A man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. Lead to have different curfews, you know. And that's when you'll start seeing, you know, troops patrolling the streets. If the curfew is 7 p.m., everybody's supposed to be home. They're not gonna play with Jake at 6:59. You know.
Yeah, like they showed that in the movie The Siege.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they blocked off the city. You know, they blocked off the city because it was like an attack. It was what happened again? It was
Muslims kept bombing shit.
Right.
So they tried to pinpoint who it was, so they was going after the Arabs and snatching them up and throwing them in concentration camps.
Right.
They had curfews, like you said.
Curfews. They blocked off the highways. You know, Denzel was pretty determined. You know, he was pretty determined. That was strong. So yeah, it's like
13. A man should desire to go into a city and should not be able.
And they showed you that with COVID. Right?
Yeah.
They blocked off certain cities. Right? They had a curfew. You couldn't fly. Right? You couldn't unless you were an essential worker. You know? Right? So that was like a preview, man. Preview or prelude to of what's to come. Right?
And proving the apostle are 100% man of the Lord, you know, all the apostles. But he said from day one, this was just a pretest, a pre-trial regarding the 2020 lockdown. You know, they got all the data they needed if they want to do in these times.
Verse 18. For because of their pride, the city should trouble, the houses should be destroyed, and men should be afraid. a man should have no pity upon his.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, you got degenerates, dummies, foretelling their crimes on video.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah, well, you know, what you say they do. You said that.
Oh, the chick said, if you're a worker in a supermarket and you see somebody stealing and you tell them you should be killed. Basically, she just said, yo, you might just let go, or you know, because there's other people doing it, like you say. Because if it's 1,000, why you worried about me fucking stealing this shit? You know what I'm saying?
They have to wait. They don't pay you that much.
Yeah. You got the
Or
other
lose your
nigga
life for.
Yeah.
A lot of them are talking shit. And man have no pity upon his neighbor. Going to Matthew 24:12 again. And man shall no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with sword and spoil their goods, because the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Yeah, we've been saying that for years, starting with the apostles. You know, when they hit the YouTube, they've been saying that for years, man. That I remember Eldar and Doc brought it out before. That I remember I first heard it from him, and that it only takes less than 2 weeks for your mind to turn on itself when you're not eating. You know, once you do that, you got your obviously your children, your wife and kids, and they got to eat. You know, you're gonna do what you got to do to make sure they're okay. You know, that we're coming into these times again. Keywords be and it's gonna turn into survival, basically of the fittest. That X's out you women right away. All right, you're gonna find out the hard way. It'll be basically survival of the fittest, and men are fit to break in people's homes and climb gates and all that stuff, swing from building to building, and doing whatever they got to do to eat, man. To kill, to eat, and escape. How the fuck do they do that?
Yeah, all this is coming because of these people's pride.
Yeah, that's key. Yeah.
Great miseries, right? Second there's aim. Many great miseries shall be done to them. And a lot of times they're dwelling because they have walked with great pride. This is why you people about to get destroyed.
That shows us too that there's gonna be a great scarcity of resources. So that person that lived next door to you, you knew for 20 years, 15 years, everybody gonna turn on each other. You have something that they could use, they're gonna take it from you. They're not gonna ask you for sugar, they're gonna take your sugar, they're gonna bring it to your home. You're gonna see people getting tied up. And this is stuff, because that great tribulation. So the resources gonna be so low, people just gonna be like, fuck it, fuck it. Because people gonna get emotional. And one thing about niggas, they just get emotional to become irrational. They don't care if you're trying to help them, they just get emotional. And it becomes self-destructive. So if they become self-destructive, you think they care about your thing? So that's what's gonna happen. People are gonna be losing their mind.
Right, it says, once and many shall wax cold.
Yeah. You over here went into that word too, found out that the word there for wax cold is the Greek word psycho.
Yep, that's exactly.
Wax cold. I'll read, so this is Luke. I don't know if y'all read this. This is Luke 12 and 49. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled? Right, and that's the Lord. This is in red letter, right? So this is the Lord speaking, and he's saying what? He's saying that when he comes, just like it says in in 2nd Ezra, the 12th chapter, he's gonna come in a chariot, right? And he's gonna do his thing, man. It's gonna be the beginning takeover of the kingdom of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. So when he comes, he's gonna, in a metaphorical sense, in literal, he's gonna send fire on the earth. He's gonna bring that heat, that's how you know these are words of the so-called Negro man. Right? Because he said, I come to bring fire on the earth. You see? And so when he comes, he's going to bring it, man.
Yeah, Esau don't talk like that.
Yeah, Esau, So, but he says, what if it already be kindled? Meaning there's already going to be holy hell on the earth by the time he returns. You see, that's part of the prophecy. That's how we know the Lord is getting close to returning, because prior to his return, it's going to be all chaos out here in the streets all over the world, not just here in America. You see? Right? So I read that again. It says, Luke 12:49, it says, I am come as fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled? Meaning it's going to be a lot of shit going down. You know, we're given a lot of examples. You know, and that snap, the end of snap, or that, you know, that snap shit is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be a lot that are going to happen and already happening now that's just going to escalate. You know, and it's going to spread throughout the whole earth. You know?
Proverbs. This is Proverbs 1, and I saw that 24.
20.
20?
Wisdom cry.
Wisdom cry, verse 20. Wisdom crieth out. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates.
Yeah,
and
because wisdom, if you going back, will also mean Sophia, which is wisdom is a feminine spirit because it's a supporter. Just like a woman's supposed to support her man, right? An assistant. So you have wisdom, it assists you in your life. You don't have wisdom, you would think you would assist it, but you know, your health and your life, your mental state, say you're not. And the only mental state is that they can't hurt you. Well, the only mental state you have is the mind or the mentality of believing in the Lord, having faith in the Lord. Having faith in the Lord, which starts with the Israelite man, is to come out here and in the streets, all right, and wake up the rest of the elect. That's wisdom. Waking up the rest of the elect of the nation of Israel to wake up to be saved from the destruction, from its wrath.
it says, wisdom crieth out. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city, she uttereth her words, saying,
this is the chief place of concourse. We're not in no back alley in a dirt road in Kansas somewhere. We're in New York City, or New York, the Empire State. Basically, we're in the empire of all these other nations. They model their structure, their building development, their way of life after, or this, I'll say, the metropolitan cities after the New York City. Okay, so we're in the chief place of concourse, man, bringing out the word of the Lord. And actually, we're in a place where, matter of fact, hold that real quick and get Hosea. Is that 1 and 10? In a place that was said, you're not my people, they should be said you are. So we're right here, technically in Harlem, all right. And this is where this truth came out from our former apostles or elders, going to west, so to speak. You know, starting with Abba Bivens, King Marshall, High Priest Clark, right, Elder Ariah. Okay.
It's Hosea chapter 1, verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
Meaning that you can't number the nation of Israel. That's what cuts that this being a, you know, as the media will keep on doing, because they're not but liars, making a black Hebrew Israelite thing. There's nothing to do with that, man. First of all, again, black and white people is that's a popular word, a social construct, all right, that was created to rationalize, put our people into slavery. Okay. Again, I'm sorry.
It says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall as the sand of the sea.
Yeah, so it's not a color thing. If it was just black Israelites, then, you know, that would be a very small number compared to the rest of the world. Even Latinos, right?
It says, which cannot be measured nor numbered.
It can't be measured, so how can you not measure it? Well, the true understanding is that you are what your father is, all right? And by way of his seed, different from when if I have an apple or orange, you know, apple seed, I plant it, apple's gonna come up. This is very simple analogy. So no different from the seed of a man. All right? And wherever your father is, that's what you are. So again, you got plenty of history starting with like the Moors, right, who conquered Europe, who are so-called blacks, you know, Spanish, you say black Moreno, I believe, right? Moreno. So proving those were the so-called blacks. You got Russian icons. You got, basically, we ruled Europe, okay? The Dark Ages really represents the dark-skinned people ruling. So anyway, throughout those times, we've been spreading our seeds, you know? Pastor always brings out a lot of the Russians, they go back to the Scythians, I believe their name was, and they were Jakes, you know, Jake warriors. Hey, you got recently in the Vietnam, it's in the 70s, you have a whole bunch of Jakes going there having, you know, planting these seeds in these Vietnamese women. So what comes out? An Israelite. So we're spread all over the world, especially in Africa, interior Africa, all over the world. So you can't number us, man.
We're not the minority, we're the majority.
That's why this deeper knowledge, like Apostle Ramla always brings out, is really to wake up the Gentiles and also the unnatural Gentiles. Because you got two, you got the natural Gentiles, which are the non-chosen nations, the heathen nations, and then you got the unnatural Gentiles, which are, they look like the other nations, but they really come from the seed of Israel. They're going to be woken up. That's why when you go to Ezra's, and also in Revelation, the 5th chapter, it talks about the prophets. Both John and Ezra said, who are these? Who are all these dressed in white robes? Because they look like white people, Chinese people, you know, not the typical Israelite, but the Israelites, the spirit of Israel that believed in the name of Yahweh Bashar. All right. Throughout the scriptures, it talks about this. James, the 1st chapter. Greetings to them who are scattered abroad. You know. Talks about the scatter.
It says, and it shall come to pass in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people. There it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
Yeah, so this is the place where we were said, America, that we're not a people. They said that we were dogs and savages. They said we were 3/5 of a man. This is the place, America. No other place did that.
That was it says ye. I'm sorry. It says
we'll read that last one.
Yeah, it says, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
Yeah, and that came out of first technically Harlem, all right? By Abba Bivens, King Marshall, High Priest Iquab, Elder Ariyah, right? Those are the men starting Abba Bivens, right? Who are allies who came back to restore the nation of Israel, like the scriptures say, right? And he restored us by going in, leaving the, what group was he part of? The commandment keepers, right? And then he went into the Spirit, guided him towards the New Testament, which the New Testament is the Spirit, really the whole book is the Spirit of the Lord, but the New Testament is really not really, but the Spirit of the Lord going into Yahweh Shai, you know? And it's all out of here. The same place we were called not a people, in America, it came out, and also not America, but the chief place in America is in New York, right? And not only that, Harlem is where is synonymous with so-called black people. So look at that. Out of all the places this truth came out, it came out black people, well, so-called black, so-called Spanish Latinos. So that's not an accident that this truth came out. It didn't come out of in China somewhere or in Australia. Still, it could have, it's the truth, but it didn't come out there. More proof that it came here. And more proof that it came where we were called not a people. Okay? And then we come and I tell you now, more than people, we're the people of the Lord. That was it.
The Lord made sure he chose for it to happen in New York too. Because New York is known as the world financial district. And this, because America is supposed to be known as the Golden City. So the Most High made the truth starts in the world financial district that we're the people of the Most High.
One more verse. It says, then shall children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together.
Yeah, and if you look at Chat GPT, you know, it's fella made a comment last week. I think ChatGPT want to be part of Greg Wilson. And anyway, they asked a few weeks ago on live ChatGPT about GMS, and one of the main things it said that GMS believes in a cosmic invasion, and also believes in the northern and the southern tribe coming back together in a reference. That's the two sticks, I guess I brought out Ezekiel, or one stick, you know. Oh,
Point themselves one head.
yeah, that's Yahweh Shai. Yahweh by the Lord is our head to the power of the Father. All right?
It says, and they shall come up out of the land of America, and wherever we've been scattered. Beginning with the elect. It says, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. That's right. That was it.
Back at Proverbs 1 and 22. 21. She cried in the chief place of
We
concourse,
just proved that.
in the opening of the gates. In the city she uttered her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Yeah, and that's what basically it is. Get Hosea 4 and 6. How long would you love simplicity? You know, you got to be real simple to trust your enemy. You got to be real simple to trust people that hung on trees and said you weren't a human being. That divides the family. And then you look around, our people are jacked up, all the 12 tribes, but these other nations, they're good, man. But then you still want to support this nation that puts other nations above you when your blood shed, your ancestors' blood was shed here. Native Americans' blood was shed here. And first of all, Native Americans or indigenous people of this hemisphere, the continent, they're already here for over 1,000 years, man. It's not your land, all right? All right, Tiny Indians in the islands. You got Gad and Reuben over here in all of the North Americas, you know?
Saying it earlier, the scriptures proves the Bible is undefeated, like you said. These other nations actually come to this land and build up empires. And now that scripture, the dogs lick the womb, you know, we eating the crumbs, and the heathen nation, they don't give a fuck. Set up Chinese stores, businesses, they get business loans, grants, you know?
Yep, grants,
all types of surpluses and things to afford their nation. And mind you, we been here, Judah been here the whole time, slap in the face, you know?
And especially the tribe of Gad and Reuben.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? This is their land, man.
It's their land.
And then, like the other just said, damn, they got wiped out, man. There were laws actually made the removal act. Man. Okay. But then again, our people are simple, man. You know, want to accept the society when they don't give a damn about you, man. All right.
It says.
Excuse me. And it says well, how do you say fools hate knowledge?
Yeah, fools hate knowledge. In order that the scorners delight in their scorning.
Yeah, you got plenty of that.
Yeah.
You know, proving that. Well, anyway, you got plenty of people talking against the truth of the Lord, and that's really our own people.
Yeah.
Degenerates, man. You know, but they're really fools, and you can tell as soon as they open their mouth. Within 3 seconds, you tell that the guy's a dumbass.
Yep.
And even the more sophisticated ones, that those Christians, you know, they're a bunch of idiots, man. It really don't matter how you speak. If you don't come out with the faith of the Lord, the name of the Lord, and speak in that way of prophecy, then, you know, you're a fool, man. You know, you had this dummy with, I was watching Apostle R show with Vocab Malone, that dummy. And then he had some, somebody's hats, man. A fitted cap nigga, all right? Talking all whatever, supposedly eloquent, but making no sense, man. Talking shit, scoffing against the truth of it.
It says, as long as delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. At my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you.
Yeah, fools hate knowledge. You know, and the ultimate knowledge is the ultimate knowledge is prophecy, man. Okay, so what you know now is going to prepare for what's going to come down the pipe. All right? And what's coming down the pipe is, like we start off with, like the brother started off with, is anarchy, man. All right? Anarchy and ultimately destruction. All right? The MOTB being mandated. Okay? Fools hate, that's what you got to know. And fools hate that. They don't want to accept that. They don't want to talk about that.
It says because, and the Lord said, I put up my words unto you. So it's going to be no excuse when the judgment happens. You know? The Lord is pouring out his words unto you in the midst of Israel and Jerusalem through the prophets, and who here listening? Who on the other side of the camera listening? Only the hopeful elect. Like Apostle Dawg said, it should be Israelites on every corner speaking against this devil. You know?
Yeah, one of the biggest fools I'm thinking about is like the biggest fools are Israelite sellouts.
Yeah.
Especially calling on the name Jesus Christ and you call yourself Israelite. I don't know what's more of a dumber example than that of stupidity. That's truly simple. Jesus Christ is not even a Hebrew name, but then you want to incorporate that and hold on to that like that's the name of the Lord.
You're a Hebrew Israelite, what you call the Greek name.
Which is not even true Greek.
Right.
It says, because I have called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded, but ye have set at naught all my counsel.
Yeah, and the counsel of the Lord is starting with the GMS. All right? And on down, doing these videos, rebuking other camps, false leaders, and they still don't want to get right, man. How many times Paul Star makes videos in IUIC telling them, look, man, when you going to tell your congregation about the chip? Oh, they're not ready for that yet. Yeah. You know? What are you talking about, man? These scriptures, get this in Ecclesiastes 12, get this in your youth.
He's basically saying his congregation is too dumb.
Basically, you'd be right about that.
It says, because ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock you when your fear cometh.
Yeah, that's self-explanatory, man. So all this stuff that's happening to our people, we have the popcorn and on the, watching these stupid social media posts and having, laughing at your dumbasses, man. Because you're the same ones. I was just thinking about this week too. Remember, like a few years ago, there's a bunch of people online, especially I'm thinking about these black bitches. They were talking against men and in general, and saying, yeah, we don't need you, and fuck you, and all. Just going crazy, man, on the camera. Like you could the ultimate hatred. Like, damn, is that serious, man? But where are they now? And not only that. The people in general talking against this word. Right? Where are you now?
Read it again in the NLT to make it more clearer for the slow folks. It says, I called you so often, but you wouldn't come. I reached out to you, but you paid no attention. You ignored my advice and rejected the correction I offered. So I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock you when disaster overtakes you. So the Lord's going to laugh when you're in trouble. All right? Through the prophets.
Yeah, we're in the time of trouble now.
Yeah, we're in the time of trouble now. Scriptures talk about Jacob's trouble. All right? Jacob's name was changed to Israel. All right? And we come from that man Jacob, his people. This is the time of trouble. The time of that you're going to lament for the teats. All right? The resources. Because the SNAP program just the beginning. Then next thing you know, Eve, she on that Section 8 heavy. That's living. His brother said they was talking about the SS and they was talking about the Social Security and the Medicaid. So that's health. So they gonna cover every department.
They cutting off Section 8 too, right?
Yeah, that's what I say. Section 8.
Soon.
That's why the scriptures say, woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help. And they look not. You didn't lean into the Lord. We're leaning into the Lord. Why you think we out here?
They could have used it through the pretext of the government not having the funds for it. Like you quoted the scripture, they should lament for the teeth. That's in Isaiah 32nd chapter. Now the teeth is talking about a woman's nipple when she breastfeeding. Now there was a video of a black woman, I think she was in Walmart, she was going through the different formula, powder milk, talking about how expensive it is, people won't be able to afford it. So that's her lamenting for the teeth. That's actually, milk. So they lamented that they can't afford the baby formula, even though the Most High gave them, the natural way to breastfeed, but they're not doing it. They'd rather go out there and just get the powder milk. But that's still they should lament. And most of all, the TV is talking about because a woman breastfeed a child is nurturing that child. So the black woman, Hispanic woman, they being nurtured by the government. And so they on the nipple of the government because they're being taken care of. So they're gonna lament for the things.
Taking on. It says, so I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock you when your disaster overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm.
When you mock something, you repeat it. Like they got this thing, you hear people say a lot. If they have a near-death experience, they say their life flashed before their eyes. So they get like a playback of everything they ever did in their life. Certain things that they did as a kid. If they stole out their mother's purse, that's what's gonna happen. The Most High, look, when a lot of people die, the Most High is gonna play back, what led up to that moment. Mm-hmm. And the Most High is gonna have them think about, dang, what's up with this like saying this stuff is gonna happen, and I came up against it. So that's what the Most High is gonna mock. Oh, one of my ex had a dream like years ago, and she said, in her dream was in a time of Jacob trouble. And she said that, a lot of black and Hispanics was getting killed by the National Guard. And it got so bad that he had men going around taking women and selling them. So she was with her best friend and she was grabbed up and put into a van. So as she was in a van, she said, oh, she could think about it. She should have got right by me. And the dream ended with her keep saying that over and over. She should have got right by me. She should have got right by me. But in that dream, when she had that dream, we were still together. So that dream was a vision of the future. Yeah. We ain't together now, and she's gonna think about it. But I'm saying this to say, the scriptures say, "I shall mock when your fear coming," because everything brothers got families that know that we Israelites have heard us say certain things, and the Most High to play back certain things that we said in their mind. They gonna feel ashamed. That's what mockery means, like to repeat back. Like you was a kid, somebody said something, oh, why you keep making fun of me? Why you keep making fun of me? That's you mocking somebody. So the Most High gonna play back their actions, their statements, they even thought in their mind. And they're gonna think about everything that they did say. So that's how the Most High gonna mock them. I had a cousin go, because this was like 2009, and this is when I first came into the truth. So I was telling my cousin, I was talking about the MOT, right? I remember him laughing about it and all that stuff. Then I remember just only a couple years ago, and he seen me again, he had a whole different look on his face, like he wanted to bring it up, but with so much going on, like a free gathering. He didn't catch me. I could tell he wouldn't put me to the side of me. I was right. But he laughed. That's it.
You got the word for mock. It basically means to mock, deride, ridicule, to stammer. Yep, to have in derision.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. You're gonna get ridiculed by the prophets, man. We're gonna rub it in your face too in these days. Through the Spirit of the Lord. It's not about us. We represent Yahweh Shemai Shai. Right? You turn your back on Yahweh Shemai Shai, not us individually. Because the ones if at the end of the day, we're giving you the name of Yahweh Shai and faith to believe in Him.
Snow dogs, guys in dresses on the corner preaching the Bible.
Rapists.
Yeah, so going back to 34th Street days, all the shit that y'all was saying back then, the Lord's gonna hold you accountable. How that scripture goes?
Every item.
Every word.
You're accounted for the day of judgment.
So that's why you gotta be careful what you're saying, because you don't know who you're talking to. You're talking to the future kings. I got Isaiah 46. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
Hold on, let me read this because he just read Proverbs, right? So I got the word for pour out, right? So in the Hebrew, the word for pour out, it goes back to the Hebrew word naba'ai, right? Naba'ai, and it means to pour out. It says to pour out with, to gush forth. You know, and it gives an example. I will pour out. This is a proverb. Yeah, this doesn't say I will pour out upon you my spirit. Right, and that's what the Lord is doing through his prophets. Right, so we're trying to bring. Well, the Most High's job is to bring you back into the fold, but you're just rejecting it. Right. So like there's no excuse. Right. You've heard majority of the people on that side, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you've heard of the truth in some form or fashion. The majority of you have rejected it, man. Right. But the Most High, He poured out His Spirit upon all Israel. So there's no excuse. That's why the mocking is going to come after. That's why through the Spirit, the Most High is going to mock you. The Most High is going to mock the 2/3. The Most High is going to mock the ones that rejected the truth. Because essentially, like you said, you didn't reject us particularly. You really rejected Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know? All right, so
He therefore that despising God did.
yeah,
But them that was given the Holy Spirit.
yeah.
And the Lord is so strategic, you know, He gave it to the lowly, the average men, you know, the ones in a we just might have their masters and all that, but we not top. You know, we just guys coming from certain suburbs, the ghettos, you know, common men, you know, and He gave it.
I was gonna say they had that, you know, ancient time too. We had men that was learned, men that was that went to the synagogues. That's why in Acts it speaks about like they had Acts 5th chapter. They had received the new Yahushua, but the things they were going into wasn't information that the common men would speak of. You know, you had men that was well studied, and they didn't go to these higher learning, you know, institutions.
So essentially, the Most High repeated that same program, I guess you want to say. He did it again. He gave the top knowledge, not to the ones that went to, I don't know what black college one. You know what I'm saying? Those top school, Spelman or whatever. Because it would have made more sense to do it that way, right? Because they're the most so-called intelligent. Right, but he did it. He gave the top supreme knowledge onto average men. Right?
Stammer when they speak.
Right.
Speak a certain way and things like that.
Obviously starting with the apostles, right? With Abba Bivens, High Priest Yankov, and so on, all the way down the line. He gave it to average men. They don't, from what I know, they don't have any degrees. You know, if they did, you know, some brothers did, like you said, go to college, they might have associates or whatever. Don't know shit now, right? But we got through the Spirit, we got the top knowledge, man, because we're bringing forth things that the common people don't know, and the ones that do know, like, damn, how the hell we figured it out through the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
You know,
Doctorate, yeah, you know.
1 Corinthians
and it's like you said, it was the same way the Lord, the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai did that in the past. He gave the top. He gave a heavy spirit onto common average men. They said the same thing about Yahweh Shai. You know?
Sirach, chapter 13, verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They equal it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help overthrow him.
Well, like the elder just said, who this nigga? That's what they really said.
But if you've seen like Michael, what's his name? Michael Dyson, or what's that science nigga that don't? Nah, the black.
Oh, no, the one that got the mustache.
Yeah, the Tyson.
Some Tyson.
Tyson. If it was that nigga, that nigga.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Huh?
deGrasse Tyson.
Degrassi, yeah. Degrassi.
The one who believes in evolution and God.
That nigga.
The one that looked like Cleveland.
Yep, Cleveland. Yep.
Thick mustache. Thick mustache. Yeah, if it was that nigga, but it's us, so they look at us as lowly, you know? That's right. Alright. Yeah, that nigga's a clown. Yeah, anyway.
Oh yeah, yep.
And it's 1 Corinthians 1:26. For you see your calling, brethren, that not many wise men after the flesh, not many noble are called, but the Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty, and the base things of the world and the things which are despised have the Most High chosen, yeah, and the things which are not to bring to naught the things that are.
Roman Catholic Church, the popes, that's mighty. The whole world marvel at that as the holiness of the whole, you know, when a new pope is inducted, whatever you call it, everybody, you know, it's a big parade and, you know, big gathering.
So I went to public education.
Right.
I know it wasn't just me. I was in a public school.
Right, exactly. That was it? Yeah. I got one on that. Back at Proverbs 1.
These people that are of the world ain't telling you what's to come. Man. It's the guys that you look over.
Yeah.
You know? So when it goes down, oh shit. We told you, man. Yeah. The blood is off our hands. You gotta pay.
Yeah, that's the an inkling of the Lord's mind.
Yeah.
You know, and basically where you least expect it. You know, when Samuel, a man of the Lord, when he was sent to I forget what town to seek the next king of Israel, the son of Jesse. Jesse had many sons. One of them was David, but he had many sons. The Most High asked Samuel to pick the next king. I want you to see who the next king is. And he picked the strongest, the one who looked like the most kingly, I guess, you know.
Got to be the king. That's how he was. Yeah. Oh, sure, I know this guy's the king.
People always going build, children, you know. Look, you know, there was a reason why he chose him. But then he said, nope, it's this man. And then when Samuel looked, it was not a scrawny little little child, brother. You know, a baby, basically a kid, a little baby. You know, so, but that was the king of Israel, the most mightiest man in the nation of Israel. You gotta say it like that. Yashalala, you gotta say it like that. You know, I was reading something again. King David was, they said he played with, because I was thinking about this scripture, and I finally found it by accident, this week. He said he played with lions as boys, or something like that. No, it's kids. Okay, yeah, there you go. He played with lions as kids and bears as dogs or something like that. You know? Come on, man. We're talking about some ancient animals too.
Yeah.
You know? So look at that. And then also one of my favorite scenes in Indiana Jones, right? What was that one you called when they had the cup? Was it the Lost Crusaders or something like that? I think it was the Crusaders. One of the first 2 or 3. But one of the scenes was Indiana Jones. Yeah, the last scene, he had to go pick a cup that was basically like the Holy Grail. I think it was a Holy Grail, right? And there was all these cups, and he had to choose one. Which one's the Holy Grail, whatever. And you know, the movie version of it. And he picked the most fanciest cup. I believe he picked that one. And or maybe he picked the other one. But anyway, you would think it was the most fanciest cup with all the diamonds. There might have been actually someone with him, actually.
No, it was the other guy picked the fanciest cup. But Indiana Jones, he picked it was a basic cup.
Basic.
It didn't have all these diamonds and jewels and shit. And the old guy that took the most beautiful shiny cup, he took the water and drank it, and then he died.
You got the scene? What's his name?
Yeah, he picked the cup with all these diamonds.
My favorite scene.
You know, these diamonds and shit. And that old nigga just died, man. You know? But then in Indiana, he picked a basic cup, a basic flask. You know? You might, I don't know if you'll get copyright.
Oh,
Yeah, you might get copyright.
It's showing that the Lord goes for the underdog.
Yeah,
Ones that's least expected.
the lowly.
The lowly.
The lowly.
And it says that he looks in the inward mirror.
Yeah, there you go.
Instead of the
Yeah,
outward.
him with
There
me.
you go. There you go. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I believe you said that when Samuel chose when he told Spirit told Samuel to choose David. You know, and he says it throughout all the scriptures.
Yeah,
The Lord, the Most High, he looks in the inward rather than the outward.
Yeah.
You know, time and time again, he always shows a small number, or he always shows a so-called underdog.
Yep.
Right? Because really, the nation of Israel is an underdog. You know, when we went into Egypt, right, we were the underdog, right? It was 70 souls, and then we multiplied so much that the king at that time, he said, yo, they're growing in number. We got to somehow subdue them before they take us over.
Let us deal wisely with
So let's deal wisely with them. Let's control them. You know what I mean? Because damn, they came and look how much they are. So the Most time and time again chooses the lowly.
And that's the spirit, because going back to that was in the time of Egypt, and the scriptures say that on Revelation 11 and 8 that this is spiritual Sodom in Egypt, and they're dealing wise with the children of Israel now. You know, through the trickery, you know, the diversions, the gifts, you know, NBA, all this madness, programming, social programming. You know, they dealing wise with us. Where it said the God of this world has blinded the minds of the people. Our people's in grand illusion, gross darkness, and wonderland. You know, the American dream. The people sleep. Israel sleep right now. They don't know that they're the sons of God. And the ones that do know, some of them, a majority of them is bought out, you know, controlled, blackmailed. So yeah.
But out of that, the Lord, the Lord is still, even out of that, the Lord is still going to have a select remnant out of that, come out of that, and overcome Satan, man. And Lord willing, all the people you see here are the ones that are going to overcome Satan and endure to the end. Because that's the key. You know, you got to endure all the way to the end.
I got some. I actually got two. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 11 and 5. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of had won the crown. I got another one. This is Psalms 147 and 10. He delighteth not in the strength of the horse. He taketh not pleasure in the legs of a man. The Lord taketh pleasure in them that fear him, and those that hope in his mercy.
So that's looking towards the inward, rather than outward or the physical strength, the appearance. The Lord looks at the inward, you know.
Scriptures say when the Son of Man coming, shall he find faith on the earth. He didn't say the most strongest, the most organized. what we gonna be set in order. But the most, you know, he looking for the faithful, the ones, looking in the spirit, and he believe. He hoping on my salvation. So he gonna get a slot in that, you know? He destined. Go ahead, slot.
Just to back you up. The Lord's gonna be in his chariot looking for that Thawa. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
Start bringing up scriptures. I got one real quick. 1 Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. But the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart.
That's it. Oh, back in Proverbs?
You got something to say?
Yeah, I said no. I'll read it real quick. This is Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 14. There was a little city and few men within, and there came a great king against it and besieged it and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was in it a poor wise man, and by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered the same poor man. Going back to us being that poor man, you know, and we're delivering the city, so to speak. With this knowledge, with you the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, through the Rakam so the elect will be sealed, you know, and then the Lord is going to deliver his remnant. But the majority of the people is not looking upon this wisdom. It says, then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and that's our people. They despise this wisdom. You know, this understanding. That's why the Lord is going to laugh at you when it comes, because you refuse to take heed to the word. It says that his words are not heard. All right, the Lord's words is not heard, and these people they're not taking heed. You know, that was the point. And I'll finish off with Proverbs 1 and 20.
Yeah, the elect is a small number.
Yeah, it's small.
Elect is a small number. And the ones that rejected 2/3, that's a big number.
Yeah.
So it is.
Back at Proverbs 1 and 26.
33.3% is the elect, which is a heavy number. 3 means understanding. The Holy Spirit is the spirit of understanding by way of the angels given unto the elect. How about you, Mishnah? And then the 2/3, that's a number 2. The fraction is 66.6%. This represent Satan, basically, wickedness.
Incompletion. Seems associated with incompletion.
It says, Proverbs 1 and 26. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock you when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you.
Yes, that's what's happening now throughout the years. But again, it's just been intensifying. You know, this just didn't happen right yesterday or 2 weeks ago, even 2 years ago. It's just been intensifying. So 2020 is ending. Next year is going to be even worse. All right? You think it's something now, it is bad now, and it's going to get even worse. You got much distress, you got benefits being cut off, you got governments, agencies against people, and here it is, Pastor always bring out, which is true, they're only after Jake. You know, here it is, what happened to, like Pastor always said, what happened to the sleeper cells of the Arab nation, the terrorists that are over here. Right. And they said it themselves on camera, yeah, we got sleeper cells here. But why are you not going after them? Why are you not going after, here it is, China's the biggest threat, but you're not going after any of the, you're not going to Chinatown, you know? You're not going to certain places where other heathens dwell, basically I'm saying. Right, you're going into Jake neighborhoods. Yeah, Latinos, so-called blacks, and we all live in the same area anyway. If you go to the hood of the guys, let's say, or the projects, you're gonna find the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel in it. All right, or you know, people who are scattered like Nigerians and all that, you see them there too. You know, but they're not going up there to Fort Lee or I don't know these parts out here, Scarsdale. I don't know rich places out here where other nations dwell. So, nobody's waking up to that either. But so, it's the, anyway, we're in these times where this is happening, man. It's just going to intensify, and the main point is that the Lord told you to not be mocked.
It says, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, they would none of my reproof. Slakia. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof.
Yeah, they said, how to say again? It said,
it says, they would none of my counsel.
Yeah.
They despise all my reproof.
Okay, yeah, they despise all my reproof. Go up like two verses.
It says in verse 29, for that they hated knowledge.
Yeah. And the knowledge ultimately is the prophecies, through the name of the Lord, right?
It says, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, that they would none of my counsel.
The fear of the Lord is, for you to get the knowledge, you got to acknowledge the commandments. Number one, that was given unto nation person. Right? You got to say, okay, this is the right way. Not whatever life I was living before and how I was living, that's not really according to what the Most High wanted as his people. So you're rejecting the knowledge of the Lord, which starts in his name. You still want to say Jesus Christ, Yahweh, or Yogurt, whatever have you. You didn't want to let that go. Right? You didn't want to come back to the commandments. Right? You didn't want to prepare yourself for the mayhem to come. You want to believe in nuclear, but it's happening now. It's just going to get worse.
It says, they despise all my reproof.
Yeah, not only did you reject it, you despised it, man. It's one thing to not listen, but you put it down. You looked at it as disdain. I don't give a who them niggas. Well, I don't believe that. I believe that's not my God. Whatever else dumb stuff you say.
He's talking shit too.
Yeah.
It says, therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices.
Yeah, so karma's coming back for you. There's a consequence for denying the holy truth of the Lord. There's a counter for that, and that's what the Bible talks about: the wrath of the Lord, the destruction. All this stuff, like the famous quote is, the chickens come home to roost, right? That's what's happening to these Edomites. And all the bloodshed that you shed here in this land, right? And all the stuff you continue to do against the Most High's people, against the truth, all the wickedness that's being exposed, all this stuff is happening to you because of that. And you're the wicked. And that's the worst way, man. The Lord's really doing a psychological work on you people. Here it is at the top of the year. Everybody's happy that Trump was elected. Right. Yeah, we're going to get better. He's going to do this to the system, school system. We're going to get our jobs back. And now look at you. His own people are cursing. And now you see no hope in your future because you see they're taking away your rights. The Most High is fucking doing a real mind fuck on your brains, man. And it's just going to get worse.
Last two verses. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearken unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from the fear of evil.
And it's self-explanatory, man. So at the end of the day, the ones who didn't look at the word of the Lord with disdain, believed in his name, believed in the holy commandments that was given unto us, and by way of learning about these prophecies as the years go on, right? Because from year one to whatever year you are now, you've learned so much. And you believed back then, but now look at all the stuff that the Lord has done to you in your life and all the stuff that you learn, we're still learning today. Like today, we looked up wax cold, we looked up cold, it basically means psycho, man. Okay? So these are the things that's going to save you because you hearken on the Lord and you prepared yourself. for that day. Like the scriptures say, Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his strength, right? That fear of the Lord, that's the thing, man. When it talked about Noah, it talked about Noah moving with fear. Okay, we got to move with fear. You know, to prepare ourselves for what's to come, man. You know, if you're really about this day, as long as these days go, you better imagine, man. You better fucking look around, man, and see that this shit is gonna get more worse than you could ever read about in history. The scriptures talk about that, man. Trouble that we never seen before.
This is Matthew 24 and 22.
You know, violence that we never seen. And look at it, you know, we're so-called in shape, but the stuff that we're gonna have to go against, there's no person in shape now to outdo what's gonna happen, man. You gotta have the spirit of the Lord to endure, to endure, man, to survive. These days, and really the number one thing you work on is your brain, the mind of the Lord, your mind of the Lord, man. You know, that's the faith.
Matthew 24 and 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world."
Well, it have to be. How can that not happen? And there's no Jacob's trouble. That's the trouble is the key word. Jacob's trouble, the nation of Israel's trouble, is great tribulation, great trouble.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Yeah, so self-explanatory once again in the New Testament. So these, you know, again, very clear, man. Very clear what time we're coming to and why we need a Savior. All right, why we need to be saved from all this trouble and harm. We're reading nothing but calamity and death. But it's a good thing because we know this has to happen for the Lord to come. Right? We know we're that much closer. You know, with the UK and all these other nations are going to the digital currency and announcing digital IDs, right? Concentration camps. Basically, people are going there now, being carted there, right? So we're in this, man. People losing their jobs, right? It's happening, man.
Obama confirmed that the military personnel, all 5 branches right now, are not even getting paid.
So, hey, man. You know, and then you got, you know, citizens turning on each other. You got government hiring people, paying $50,000 to join ICE or the FBI, whatever that is. You know, ICE is hiring now. Who's going to turn down $50K? They're going to turn on your own family. Yeah, they're going to take that, man. You know, and then who's behind Esau, the devil? He's the one. Again, we're under the steps or the sequence of New World Order, and it's been intensifying, and we're in hyperdrive now. You know, with this 3-eye atlas thing, whether it be false or true, I saw some recent stuff this week. Maybe someone a little willing. You know, I believe it's true because, I believe it's true because they're saying NASA shut down certain cameras so you won't get the full resolution. The only pictures that they're releasing are low resolution cameras, or if any, that at all. But I think they're using that. He uses nothing that'll crisis go to waste. Not like it's crisis, but he's using it to, what I'm finding out, to maybe bring in that Project Blue Beam. Whether it be real or not, whatever it is, they use this to bring in that Project Blue Beam. You know, I'm just a humble believer, but you know, they could bring it up at the top of the year, 2026. So this Project Blue Beam, that's something that Apostle always been talking about too. Why? Because Project Blue Beam, whatever I'm bringing information on it, basically they're trying to replicate the comeback of the Lord. And you know, I was talking to you like a week or two ago, mentioned to you, you know, you said a good point. Like, yeah, all of a sudden, I mean, they have to talk about the chariots, the so-called UFOs. It's inevitable because the Lord says that it's going to be a curse of the earth. So there's going to be sights that are undeniable. But Esau, the devil, he's going to admit some things, but try to, of course, curb it to a lie, deceive you about it. You know, and the point is that yeah, they're gonna. It's always been in their plans to mimic come back of the Lord, to deceive the people again, once again. You know, so they might use that to their advantage. But whatever the case is, the Lord is come back, and people are gonna know in that day.
Or the most not gonna be using that to show his power, give them signs. Because there's a lot of shit that be happening that is not being made public, but the elites are seeing it. You know, the same way the Most High did to Egypt. Like the Most High showing them signs like this is something's about to happen, or because they have wise men around that can break these things down. They have astrologers around them. They got people that study the Bible, and the Most High could be giving them a sign and have certain release for us, and we could know too. Because like the Three Live Atlas, we don't hear too much people talking about it, but it's out there. But we do know, look, that time is close. It's a part of the signs.
That was it.
I got something back there. You got something? This is Michael.
Yeah, so even with them trying to, now there's rumblings on, you know, in the esoteric knowledge science society that they might do this Project Bluebeam, that proves that we're that much closer. Oh, you got it? Yeah, because they're doing, well, you got it. You read it.
Project Bluebeam is a debunked conspiracy theory alleging a...
Yeah, all right. Yeah, how?
This is AI overview. Yeah. So Project Bluebeam is a debunked conspiracy theory alleging a plot by NASA and other global elites to use advanced holographic technology and mind control techniques to create a fake second coming or alien invasion.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's I forgot to say, yeah, because we were talking and you mentioned all of a sudden they want to put this stray atlas on all the news networks now. You know, because certain real sightings, they talk about it and then they change it the next day. It was a balloon or whatever have you, or they may not release it, or they release it, they won't cover it so much. It's the main thing, right? But this is being pushed too much, all right? But on the other side of it, you got real scientists, real skyscrapers, so to speak, sky lookers, whatever, study the stars, and they're breaking it down, man. And saying that, because the main point is that they're saying that the three atlas, it won't be seen pretty soon until December, because it's going to go behind the sun. So the Earth will be able to see it. So once it goes behind the sun, and plus it's not even moving right, and when a meteor goes next to the sun, it's supposed to, when it gets closer, it's supposed to burn off certain liquids or gases. It liquefies, and with this meter, it's not doing that. It's letting off another gas, carbon or something like that. But the point is, it's not going to be seen for a few months until December. It's going to come out back into the closest part to Earth around December 19th. But by that time, who knows what it did behind the sun?
And then, like you said, it could just be all what you're saying, because it's like chariots could do what they want. So it's like you telling me, you know when it's gonna go, and you know what I mean. So that's that seems like you control the narrative.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if it is a Project Beam,
because they gotta.
Because the chariot could just stop. You know what? I'm gonna turn around, go this way.
Well, it said that too. It said that too. That it was.
Oh, it stopped. Okay.
They said it had fumes. When a meteor has fumes, it's supposed to keep going.
Right.
But it said this one just stopped.
Oh, okay.
So it's not abnormal, man.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, they can look at it and be like, you know, this is a perfect time to bring this Project Bluebeam before they really come into.
Right. Yeah.
The case is, you know, we know that Esau's the devil. He's going to do has to do with it, and we know that this is a real deal. We're reading it now.
The goal of the staged event would be to abolish traditional religion, establish a single global New Age religion, and usher in a totalitarian New World Order.
See, so the Project Bluebeam is a part of the order, because that's when they want to set up, you know, as you go into it, read it about it, one world government, or one king. You know, they talk about, this is the promised Lord, he came back, this is his people, you know. The Rothschilds, they're going to claim, we are those people. Listen to us, etc., etc. And again, the apostles been brought this back out since 08, 07, man. We always knew about this. So to hear about Project Bluebeam, we're at the end. Because why else would they use it? The devil he's all about deception and deceiving. He's going to use something and then try to deceive you. Because look, why did NASA shut down all of its best resolution cameras? I know, et cetera, man.
Because they know what we're saying is true. But just the masses of the people, they don't understand what's going on.
They don't.
It's us against the elites. It's between us and them. You know what I'm saying?
Set against them.
Yeah.
I got this is Isaiah 47:10. It says, I can start at 9. It says, I got it. No, I got it. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. And this is talking about Esau, you know? Right? It says, they shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments, right? Because what Esau uses, his power, like, they're just giving Esau as the total opposite of Jacob, or the real Israelites. Our power is what? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Power are enchantments. Their power is Satan. You see? Which is a power, but it's a lesser power than ours, you know? Because those demonic forces, they all answer to the Most High. And Book of Job, right? So it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, right? Thou hast said, none seeth me, right? Because their whole thing is they operate behind the scenes. They operate in the so-called darkness, you know, but behind, like I said, behind the scenes, right? That's what their whole thing is. They're called they call it secret societies, right? They're the ones that pull the strings behind society, and they have front people that they just control, right? They control the earth behind the scenes, but it was the Most High that gave them the ability, or just allowed them to do so. It's not really them, right? It says, so they, in their mind, they're really in control, but it's the Most High that controls. So they trust in those deities that they worship, because they really think those deities put them there. So it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, right? And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon you, right? Evil meaning what? Bad times, right? And that's the times we're approaching. These so-called leaders that so-called behind the scenes, they're gonna really realize they're not really in rulership, man. And their rulership that they have or think they have is temporary, right? It tells you that. What's that in Job? They shall not pass a certain time period of rulership. Yeah, their bounds. They're bounds.
Job 14.
They have a certain bounds that they cannot pass, meaning they have a set year, month, day, minutes, hour, second of rulership. Just like all kingdoms, man. The only kingdom that has no end of rulership is the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right?
Let me get it real quick.
If you
Yeah, I got it.
all right.
This is Job 14 and verse 5. Seeing his days are determined.
Right, his days are determined, man. Right, go ahead.
The number of his months are with thee.
Right, with the Most High, and the Most High only. Right, go ahead.
Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Right, the Most High gave you a certain time limit or a boundary of time to rule, and you ain't gonna be able to live past that, man. Right, it was all sanctioned by the Lord. You can't pray to your demons any harder to get a longer rulership period, man. Yeah, you can't get an extension. Like, you know, when you call yourself, oh, listen, I'll pay you next week. You know, and your phone don't get cut off. You know, there's none of that with this, man. Okay.
Like you said, secret societies, they do their stuff in secret. is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 15. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us? And who knoweth us? Surely your turnings of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
Right, and it says, woe unto them, right? Yeah, woe unto them that
seek deep to hide their counsel.
Yeah, they seek deep to hide their counsel, man.
From the Lord.
From the Lord, yeah, really. As well as the whole earth, man. You know, the what they call it, civilians and the common folk, the lower class, serfs, right? Go ahead.
And their works are in the dark.
Right, all their works are in the dark. What you see in the news, that's just a narrative.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
In the background, they're really doing some wicked demonic shit, man. Yeah. Because they know if you knew what they're doing behind the scenes, you would go, oh shit, you would lose your mind, man. And you wouldn't be controlled like you are now.
Just to back you up, but like basically everything in the media, man, is a goddamn lie or distraction. With this whole NBA thing right now, what's going on with this mafia and all that, that's another distraction, man. You know, just to back you up.
Small hats own the media. They own all of it, so they don't want that to decide whether to push the green light or whatever article, you know, and the right is come from them. They shut it down if they don't want that coming out.
It says, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? Surely your turnings of things upside down should be esteemed as potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? It is not yet very. That was it.
Yeah. So basically, the Esau is a clay, right? And the Most High is the potter, the man that forms the clay. Meaning, the Most High has control, man. You're just a damn clay being formed, man. All right.
Go ahead.
Real quick, we're back in that. This is Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Go back to that secret counsel.
Yeah. Workers of iniquity.
Yeah, workers of iniquity. What's iniquity? Sin upon sin. And injustice, imbalance.
Right.
That's what this devil pushes.
Yeah.
You know, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know?
Psalms 94 and 9, just countering the mind of the wicked, that they can't be seen. That's by the Lord. That's the definition of insanity, really wickedness, stupidity. So Psalms 94 and 9, it says, he that planted the ear, shall he not hear? Oh, you had that? Uh-oh. And it says, he that formed the eye, shall he not see? He that chastises the heathen, shall not he correct? He that teacheth man knowledge, shall not he know? The Lord knoweth the thoughts of man, that they are vanity.
So it says, So it says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. Right? And that's talking about Esau. Right? Your whole power structure, your whole society, right? Your whole plan is gonna to naught. Right? This whole plan of your new world order that you wanna establish, or you're trying to establish, you think you're gonna get it completed, but there's the Most High is gonna have you in the trick bag. I'll think of another straits. Yeah, you're gonna be in straits, man. Your plan isn't gonna go according to plan. See? It says, and mischief shall fall upon thee. See? Thou shalt not be able to put it off. Right? Just like in Job, you read about the bounds that it cannot pass. you're not going to be able to extend your rulership, right? You're not going to be able to counter what the Most High has roadblocked for all your plans, man, right? It says, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. You see? Just like, what's that project.
I was gonna say about that. I talk about too much, but the spirit.
Yeah. Like the project Looking Glass. Every scenario, their plan was foiled. It always came to the same conclusion, which is going to happen in real life. It's going to be one outcome, and the outcome is Esau being removed, put into slavery, and then the nation of Israel under Yahweh Shem Shai being that top nation. See, that's and it's nothing that your enchantments, your witchcraft, your wicked practices can do to counter that. You know?
Yeah, because they're going to turn against you anyway. I believe one brother posted, I want to take a quick picture of it. It's the beloved brother out there, I'm a one-eyed bod, I believe in D.C., Maryland or something. They should have won my if you watch him. He posted a thumbnail of Grok AI or something like that. I think it's called Grok AI. Grok, right? And basically, like Apostle said from the beginning, like they always said, you gotta kind of how should I say, not a trick or someone help me out here, speak a certain way to or phrase certain questions to AI.
You gotta like bait them.
Yeah, jailbreak it.
To get the truth out of it, you know?
Yep.
You know, because basically we were talking about it before, you made a good point that, you know, basically whatever you bring to AI is just going to support what you ever are asking. Unless you ask questions and it'll come out that way.
Yep.
You just got to form a question a certain way. But anyway, the point was that he posted a grok acknowledging that the brother who was questioning him was a man of had the truth, and made Grok a believer, so to speak, and said that you have the truth, and said I commend you everything I brought out, you made me believe otherwise, and you brought out the scriptures, so you have to be a man of the Lord. It said like spiritual things. It said you are a man of the Lord, you are this is the truth, and just like the ancient prophets or something like that. It got specific, man. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna send it to you, brothers. Yeah. You know, so enemies, man. Hey, the deceived and the deceiver are his. You know, Satan don't work for you, man. Satan work for you. How about you, man? Shine. Right? You guys.
Job chapter 20, verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. So when Esau setting up his new world order, getting right to that pinnacle, to that peak of, oh yeah, we got him. He's going to be put into difficulty. The ultimate goal of Esau, Edom's new world order is to put a device in you. M-O-T. Yeah, put the Karagma in you. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Verse 23, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So when Esau is comfortable and he's sitting back, got his feet up, the Lord's gonna pull that skirt or pull that dinner table that tablecloth off the table and be like, no, that's not what's about to happen. Point blank period. First,
every hand of the wicked say every hand of the wicked. Oh,
No, go to the laborers.
Yeah, the laborers. It's the laborer.
That's what we put out 7 after 15. The people going because that's sedition. To start wilding out, crashing out.
Because best believe Esau is going to be the #1 target. Yeah. Once again, the Lord being so strategic, you will have small houses in the neighborhood right here, and Jake right next, like literally up the block. Like everything's good.
That's what made me think of.
And it's two worlds.
Made me think of Michael 5 and 7.
Bring it out.
Yeah, I get it. If you done with it, it's a real quick review. Micah chapter 5.
You was done with it? Okay.
Micah chapter 5, verse 7.
It says, and the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, as a dew from the Lord, as the showers of the grass that tarrieth not for men, nor waiteth for the sons of men. So we go, Jacob covered everything. All right? We just mentioned, Jacob was everything. All right? Right up the block, man. You got groups. Where I live, there's groups of our building. Hamites of our building, man. Not knowing that, their destruction is nigh, man. The Lord is going to use Jake to, tear you people up, especially us of the elect, man. We get that spiritual power, right? Verse 8, man. We're going to be on y'all like white on rice, man. It says, and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion amongst the flocks of sheep. We're gonna have that. We're gonna get that power, man. We're gonna get that SP, man. We're gonna destroy our enemies. We're start with the so-called white man that's trying to exterminate us.
And that's something that, if you're not mentioning the spiritual power or men getting power in the latter days or the elect, you don't got the truth. You gotta talk about that, man. What the hell these churches talking about men getting power in these last days in the name of Jesus?
It's facts, man.
Bunch of straight 100% clowns. But anyway.
God says, that people shall be willing in the day of God power.
Yeah, man. Lord says specifically, these things that you see me do, you're gonna do what even greater. The Lord said that in the New Testament, man. But we all know, not to get all hyped, that you people are blinded. And you're straight fools, man. You people are toasted, man. Your brains are done, man.
It's like low levels. Low levels. Like Jake says, levels to this.
Yeah.
Christians, that even religion and Christianity, they're just like they're just real. They're like first graders or something.
Yeah.
And they don't pass that spiritual level.
Goes down TikTok, you're like, why does Christian church feel like a damn concert? He said, I ain't go to church in a minute, but I decided to go. And I'm like, the pastor is singing, everybody clapping and dancing. But I'm trying to get the understanding.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to get niche. That's exactly what it is, a damn joke. And a party. It's like,
Most High's not in there.
Yep.
It says, who, if he go through, will both tread him down and tear in pieces, and none can deliver him. So begin with the elect. Once you get that power, man, you ain't gonna be able to escape from us, man. What it says, one shall chase 1,000. All right, So, hey, once we get the SK, man, look, it's gonna pop. And we need that in this time. All right, like you said, we about to go through. But look, how else you gonna get out of this? What's gonna get that spiritual power, man?
And that's gonna come by way of faith, right? Because our faith is gonna increase, and as the days draw nigh, our faith is gonna increase, or the elect's faith is gonna increase even more. That's right.
I'm glad you said that. You're right. Yeah, because it's gonna, there's levels of faith as well. You gotta believe you can do what, like the scripture say, I can do all things through Yahweh Shai. The scripture. We're gonna be tested. You gotta have faith to see it. Now, pray the Lord gonna feed you. It's been a week, or protect me. I'm surrounded by whatever animals in the wilderness. Am I gonna survive tonight? Or I just got bit by a venomous snake. Is the Lord gonna be with me or I'm dead? That's what happened to Paul. Paul got bit by a venomous snake and he shook it off, man. All right, so things gonna happen where something should happen to you, but depending on your faith, the Lord will deliver you.
So Jeremiah 16:16.
Even in the face of death, really, in the face of death.
It's Jeremiah 16:16. Behold, I will send for many fishes, says the Lord, Yahweh. There's fishes right now. Notice how big fishes are men. So we fishing for the elect. And they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. And that's when that SP comes, you know? Ultimately, when we come back down, that New Jerusalem from heaven, you know, out of the chariots, and we got that immortal body, we gonna round up the heathen, you know? That's in the underground bunkers, underground cities, that's in their space stations, you know?
Yeah, because
Yeah, the rocks.
yeah, because the prophecy states we're gonna have servants, man.
Yeah.
You have servants now, willing and able servants serving the richest, the Rothschild, 300 rich families. You know, there's steps, there's order. Any different in the kingdom. There's going to be order amongst the elect, order amongst the chosen, right? And especially the heathen nations, you're going to serve the nation of Israel. You know, but the first 1,000 years, especially for Esau, you know, like Apostle Ramlab said, you're going to get a few lumps in your head. Well, especially Esau, that's a different lump. You're going to get brutally, whatever. Yeah, effed up. You're gonna get double, like the scripture said. That's a separate punishment, man. But you other heathens, you're gonna get lumped up too. But eventually, you're gonna be all right to be the lands that we give you, and be all right, so to speak. And the world's gonna love it, because I was reading Isaiah 60. He said, basically, these nations are gonna be willingly serving us. They're going to want to come to the house of the Lord and learn the knowledge. All right? Because really, this is the words of the Lord and His commandments are intertwined with nature, with the universe, man, with everything around us. You know?
This is Isaiah 59 and verse 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and His glory from the rising of the sun.
Like you was gonna answer.
Yeah.
So in that time in the kingdom, all nations are gonna what? It said fear.
Yeah.
Read that part again.
It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west,
Right.
and His glory from the rising of the sun.
Meaning the whole earth is gonna fear. Right now, the earth doesn't fear the Lord. The earth doesn't fear the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. There will be a day when that fear is going to return, right? Like when the nations refer to the Most High as Allah Shadja, great demon-like power. You see? So the Most High is going to get that fear again all over the earth, right? Go ahead.
It says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, shall lift up a standard against him.
Right, a standard against him is referring to that army coming against us, man. So that's when that spiritual power is going to be in effect. You know? Go ahead.
It says, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob.
Right, and that's referring to the so-called the elect out of the nation of Israel. The redeemed, right, is going to what? Return?
Yep.
On to Zion. Zion represents you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? Go ahead.
It says, unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob,
Right.
saith the Lord. As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith the Lord. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words that I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, from henceforth and forever.
That's a continual rulership, man. So no more will Esau disrupt, right? Because what he did was how he broke our heritage was it just took one generation, right? Now our heritage is going to continue forever and ever and ever, man. There's not going to be an end of the nation of Israel, and that we're going to have a continual rulership. You know, and that's what we all want, man. You know, so
Because it's the will of the Lord.
yeah,
We want the will of the Lord. Like you go into. This is the will of the Lord.
This this is his promise that was given to us, going all the way back to the beginning. You know, and we're coming to the end of our punishment and the beginning of our promise. Right? So, on that note, all right. So on that note, close up. I want to say, Call Allah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Kakadash.
Come on, shout. So to the next one. Come on.
All right, yeah, good.
Hey, Shalom.